Yeah, Professor Sramanan, can you check out with the student that, because now 370 and we are seeing hardly 20 students. because the jobs are not there. It's because of the core industries are not finding the right skill in the students. So all the good colleges, autonomous colleges, are taking initiation to meet the needs of industry. Yes, competition is tough and it will be always tough. So unless until you don't make yourself unique than a normal crowd, you cannot be preferred in industry. That is how the train is now. So nowadays, the situation has come to the level where every industries are looking for candidates having some sort of specialization in their core branches. Okay, if I am, let's take example of doctor profession. If I am a doctor, and I want to be specialized in the eye areas. So suppose if I have facing the problem with my eyes and I want to go and consult the doctor. So I will definitely go for eye specialist. So likewise now in engineering also the industry are the total the pattern has changed. So you need to be specialized in your areas. Okay, this is how the change has happened. Okay, so one more thing which is very important for us to know is that the kind of opportunity, and if you take the data and if you talk about the statistics, very few engineers are getting a core jobs. That is the biggest challenge. But yes, at the same time, I want to repeat again that it doesn't mean that the industry doesn't have a job. Only the missing part is that students are not having the right skills. So what is happening now? The core industries are going to the tier one colleges like IITs and NITs to get those resources. And the core industries are coming to us to provide such resources who are having the knowledge in which they can be put on the job immediately. So this is the challenges. How to overcome these challenges is that one thing is that which Saravanan sir was talking about it. They are having a freedom to incorporate some of the industry syllabus, and they also have taken support from us that what kind of things can be put for all of you. So I really thank that Hindustan College of Management who are really looking forward to bring some industry related courses. Okay. And yes, now, as I said you in the first slide, focus more on that skill based education rather than having a theoretical based, things and not implementing with the applications. So that is what the change is coming forward. And yes, emphasize more on internship project. And the other thing is that upgrade the faculty that is related to the college. So, what skilling is helping? Yes, it helps the students to be a part of the competitive world, and skilling is providing opportunities to the students, and we are also providing the niche technology which are in demand in today's time. So basically, we feel the gap between industry and academia. So yeah, this is very important slide, which I just thought of to discuss about it in details. Let me unanswer this slide, and at the end of our discussion, we will be discussing how you will become fresher with an experience. So I just said you that all the core industries are giving the preferences for tier one colleges, or they are coming to us to provide the skill resources. But nowadays, if you have this knowledge, there's, you can also be reachable to the core industries, and you will be selected over there. That this slide I will answer at the end of my presentation, and let me discuss about what we are in details, and let me also share that official story of our success, what we have achieved so far. These are the important branches, which you can see that mechanical, automobile, aerospace, aeronautical, electrical, civil, and computer science. These are the branches which we focus, and we have 80 plus courses which provide 50 different job roles. And so far we have grown up in a very rapid way, and in just 3 years we have trained more than 17,000 students across 60 countries. The major advantage of Skill Link is our instructors. They are not only in India, they are around the world. They are going to share their real-time experience with all of you, and our core partners who also help the student for their placements. Okay, so we have some placement modules also that we'll discuss in the next slide how it works, and we have great support team which makes us unique than any other training providers. Okay, so we do provide 24 by 7 support, and we have a student success team who are helping the students to handhold from day one itself, and placing them in the core industries. So this is just a small brief about skilling, which I would request that all of you can also go to our website. You can see that what all courses we have, okay, and how we are helping that engineering community to bring the change in their professional careers. So this is our global presence. As I said to you that we are in 60 countries. We have a direct and indirect presence in 60 countries, and students across the globe are benefiting from our program because our programs are mapped completely with the industry applications. So that details my colleague Mr. Srinivasan will be giving to you. So that I'll hand over to him once I am done with my discussion with all of you. And so these are the various options students we have, and option one, we have like individual courses where students can take up the courses, individual courses based on their own interests. Okay, and it definitely yes, certificate will be given with every individual courses. It ranges from 3 to 4 months. And yes, one more thing which I want to highlight here is that it will not be clashed with your regular academics. You might be thinking that how can I give 3 months time and 3 to 4 months time? It's not that way. Every day, if you give 1 or 2 hours and if you maintain the same pace, so you will be able to complete your model what you have chosen in 3 to 4 months, along with 2 to 3 projects. There will be two minor projects and one major project. I also discussed with you about what kind of project and then what project standard would be, where Srinivasan will be also highlighting on that part. Option two, we have this is as we have a mixed students, so that I can discuss about this as well. So we have specialization domain specialization program, which can be started from first year onwards. Those who are in the second years, yes, that option can be given also for the second year students, and from second year to final year. Okay, every semester one skills will be provided to you in your area of specializations, and you will be working with more than 20 plus projects. And yes, when you will be in the final year, you will be also getting placement assistance from us. So option two and option third has the placement assistance, okay, because this is a bigger program. And I'll also say if the students are in those who are in the third year and final year, we also have some opportunity which I will discuss at the end of my discussion, because I just want to hand over sessions to Srinivasan because he will be highlighting more on the technical front. Okay, so these are the various list of the courses which I will discuss little later. So Srinivasan, I hope you are there, and I would request you to go through our courses which can help the analytical department, and which courses can really help the students for their future career. Okay, so now I would like to hand over sessions to you, Srini. Are you there?
Great. Hey, Mayank. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I am stopping my screen, Srini, so that you will be able to share your screen.
Sure, sure. So, Mayank, we have the aeronautical students here, right? Only aeronautical.
Yes, yes. Guys, you can respond. And yes, so Srini always feels very happy when student interacts with him. So he believes more on interactions, and it would be great opportunity for all of you to hear from him because he has a good experience and knowledge in his area. And so try to get this opportunity from him. Okay, thanks, Srini. So I am just stopping my screen so that you will be in positions to share your screen.
Sure, Mayank. Thank you so much. So, hello, guys. How are you doing? I hope everyone's doing good, right? So, I am going to share my screen, right? But I like this session to be very interactive as possible, right? So, feel free to unmute your mic and talk, right? There is no such thing as a silly questions, right? So every question is appreciated, right? So I'm not going to go through the entire all the PPTs here and bore you guys since it's after lunch, right? So I'm just going to give you some tips, right? So these are certain 5 points which I normally tell to all the engineers in order for them to get into good growths, right? The first thing is don't underestimate the tool test, right? If you guys do not know what is a tool test, this is a very good time to get to know what is a tool test, right? So if you do not know what is a tool test, you can write in the chat box. Please explain about the tool test so I can give you an idea about what is a tool test and why is it important, right? So don't underestimate the tool test, because the tool test is going to carry 50 to 60% of the weightage in your interview, right? Especially if you're going into R&D roles where you have to use an engineering tool, right? And the second thing is theoretical concepts aren't enough to crack the interview, right? What do we mean by theoretical concepts aren't enough to crack the interview, right? The major problem with freshers nowadays is everyone knows the formula, everyone knows how to do a problem, and the problem is explicitly defined, right? But just knowing the formulas is not enough, right? You have to know where is this particular concept applied in real life, right? What is the usage of Young's modulus? Why do we even look at modulus, right? What is one Moises stress, right? Why are we looking at one Moises stress? Can we look at some other different kinds of stress, right? So you need to know how to apply it in the real world so you can actually solve real life problems. And when you start applying these concepts in real world applications, you don't need a problem to be explicitly defined for you. You will be able to logically think about the questions that you need to have. You will ask the questions, get the information that you need, and then you can move forward with breaking down the problem and solving the problem, right? So don't just be bookworms. Try to apply whatever you have learned in your book. Try to look at it from a real world point of view, right? And start working on industry oriented projects, right? When I say industry oriented projects, right? And since you guys are from the aeronautical domain, I'm not talking about building a complete aircraft or designing a complete aircraft. That's actually not needed, right? What you can actually do is identify a problem statement that the industry is currently working on, right? For example, a particular wing structure or a particular fuel tank structure might have too much sloshing effect on it. How do you reduce the sloshing effect without increasing the weight to the aircraft or compromising on the structural stability of the aircraft, right? So the problem statement will be like this, and you will not be making the entire fuel tank or the entire wing and putting everything. It's going to be a very small part where you say, okay, if these changes are made in the interfaces between two fuel tanks, yes, then the sloshing effect can be minimized, right? Work on projects like that, which actually makes sense to the people who is interviewing you, right? And this is a statistics which says, only 6.4% of the engineers are employable, right? The reason why that is because most of the people do not do the top 3 points. And this is basically the difference between a guy from IIT or IISc and a guy from your college, right? So IITians, they normally do the above three things. And they also do the fifth point of picking their domain and starting to specialize in it, right? It's not too late. Still you guys have the time to do it. So I would recommend, start working on it immediately, right? Cool. Any questions? Great. So I have a question for you. How many of you are interested in design? How many of you are interested in CFD? And how many of you are interested in FEA? If you're interested in design, just type design in the chat box. If you're interested in FEA, just type FEA in the chat box. If you're interested in CFD, just type CFD in the chat box. Can you guys understand me? Good. Design, CFD. We have one CFD. Okay. What else? CFD. Cool. CFD, design. Anyone who's interested in FEA? FEA people there? Structural analysis. No one is interested in structural analysis? That's interesting. Cool. Right. Okay. So the people who answered design, can anyone unmute your mic and tell me what is design? Or what do you think design is about? I think the people who said design are Vishal, Karthik, Srinath, Gautam, Sweta. Anyone, feel free to unmute your mic and speak.
Sir, it is a plan to construction of an object, sir, any objects previously.
Great. May I know your good name, sir? Hello.
Hello, sir.
May I know your good name, please?
Sir, I did not hear you.
May I know your name, please?
Gautam, sir.
Gautam. Thank you, Gautam. So Gautam says it's a plan to construct an object. What else? Does anyone else have a different point of view?
Sir, model of an finished project or
Model of
a finished product.
a finished product. You mean you create a 3D model which has already been completed? Is that what you're trying to say? Hello? Hello?